The Unseen Hand by Jahad Zenith. From the moment the first British ships touched American shores, unseen hands began shaping the future, not only through force, but through the careful crafting and manipulation of law itself. In the 1600s and 1700s, Freemasons arrived alongside colonizers, embedding themselves in politics and courts, ensuring that legal codes bent in their favor. Across the sea in 1718, Philip Wharton founded the Hellfire Club, a den of power whose members, like Benjamin Franklin, understood that true dominance comes from controlling both the streets and the statutes. Pirates such as Calico Jack, Anne Bonny, and Blackbeard bribed governors, manipulated maritime laws, and used trade regulations as weapons to choke competitors while enriching themselves. By the 1720s, the Hellfire Club's influence extended into the criminal underworld through men like Dick Turpin and Jonathan Wild, both experts in using the letter of the law to shield their crimes. Freemasons like George Washington and Benjamin Franklin would later lead the Revolution of 1776, wielding their brotherhood's influence not only on the battlefield but in the drafting of the 1787 Constitution, embedding structures of power that still endure. In the 1800s, America's swelling cities birthed their own syndicates. The Five Points Gang rose in New York under figures like William Bill the Butcher Poole and Charles Scorsese, who bought judges William Howe and John Hackett to secure favorable rulings. They didn't just break laws, they rewrote local ordinances, shaped elections, and turned the justice system into an extension of their operations. Across the ocean, India's Thuggery, led by Chitu and Sultana, perfected ritual violence while infiltrating law enforcement itself, making the enforcers of justice their silent partners. By the mid-1800s, politics and crime had fused into a single organism. The alleged Masonic killing of William Morgan in the 1820s sent a clear message: the law will not save you if it is in the hands of those you challenge. In the courts, Freemason judges like John Marshall and Joseph Story issued rulings that cemented their network's economic and political advantages, proving that control of the gavel could be as powerful as control of the gun. Then came the Santa Fe Ring of the 1870s-1900s, a coalition of politicians, lawyers, and businessmen, Thomas Catron, Stephen Elkins, and Home Bursam, who seized millions of acres under the guise of legal land claims. They deputized hired guns like Billy the Kid, Jesse Evans, Tom Hill, and John Kinney to enforce their will, while corrupt judges rubber-stamped their fraud. Figures like Nicholas Laws, Alexander Scott, Farrington, and Raoul Bahadur in other territories followed the same model: law as a tool, law as a shield, law as a sword. Some groups collapsed: Calico Jack to the gallows, the Hellfire Club to scandal, the Five Points Gang to police raids. Others adapted, Freemasons surviving into the modern era, some lodges still accused of secrecy, the Gambino crime family inheriting Five Points territory, occult societies like the Order of the Toad claiming Hellfire Club lineage. We speak of corruption now as if it were a modern invention, but bribery, intimidation, and infiltration are not deviations from the system, they are part of its foundation. For centuries, power has written its own rules, then convinced the masses those rules were justice. We have grown accustomed to the shadow in the corner, telling ourselves that ignoring it will make it fade. But the beast of power does not starve by neglect. When threatened, it wakes, not quietly, but with a roar, reminding us that it never slept. Now that you know the history, the question is not if the hand exists today in America. The question is, can you see it?